Real Madrid, who are they? Who are Real Madrid? No, I tell you what, not quite the perfect day for Tottenham, but I suppose Dortmund dropping points, which I didn't see coming. I thought they would go there and comfortably win against Apoel. But the way that Tottenham played against Real Madrid, right? I know Real Madrid had a lot of possession, but the way he changed his team, some respect he had to because he had injuries, but Llorente starting was a big surprise. But it worked well physically for them as well. They created chances. Lloris had to make some saves, but going to the Bernabeu in the Champions League, getting a 1-1 draw.
With no Dele Alli.
With missing key players, and I know Real Madrid are missing key players as well. That's a very good result.
Saves by Hugo Lloris keep Spurs in this match, but take nothing away from Spurs. I thought it was a very good performance from Spurs, and also thought that the decision to play Fernando Llorente worked better than any of us would have imagined. I mean, there were times where he was able to hold the ball up, find balls to Harry Kane, drop the ball off to Christian Eriksen, a couple of chances in the second half for Spurs. For Real Madrid, the question remains about Karim Benzema. Is he the guy that's going to score the goals for you? Because as much as we'd like to talk about the fact that he does a lot of movement of the ball, a lot of hold-up play, that he facilitates play for Cristiano Ronaldo and makes things easier for Cristiano Ronaldo, the truth is that the chances fell to Karim Benzema. And if he's not scoring those sort of chances, then Real Madrid perhaps may look somewhere else. I find a Real Madrid team that didn't play their best but still created enough chances to win this game, and Karim Benzema did not come up with the goods.
Yeah, Benzema needs to take those finishes for sure. But Hugo Lloris, I thought he looked extremely sharp. Also, Keylor Navas looked extremely sharp. You saw him, the save on the header.
Save from Kane.
Yeah. And then also from the near post shot from Eriksen. Looked like he was a bit leaning towards his far post, gets to his near post, makes a great save. All in all, I think Real Madrid had probably more of the game and more of the better chances. But you got to give Tottenham credit for the way they went about their game. They didn't try and beat them with counterattacks necessarily. They tried to get the ball wide. You saw Aurier being very effective with balls put into the penalty area. And the fact that if the set pieces were a little bit better from Eriksen, I thought they had a little more advantage on the not just the height side, but the physicality side, and maybe could have caused a few more problems for Real Madrid. But in the end, a really good result for Tottenham away from home.
We didn't learn anything about Real Madrid. Nothing, right? That we didn't already know. A bit up and down at the start of this season after their exploits of the last 18 months. But I think we did learn something about Tottenham. That they can go away from home, in particular in this competition, and you do have to do that and pick up points. And then obviously when it gets to the knockout stage, if they get there, it's vitally important you don't get wiped off the floor when you go away from home, because then the job's over. And I think they've shown that, one, when they go to Dortmund, and they've still got to go there, that they can go to Germany and perform. Because if you can go to Bernabeu and do it, even though if they're not firing quite on all cylinders, that's got to make you think, and Pochettino and the players and the fans, we can go away pretty much anywhere with our defensive shape and our physical presence, and when we get players back, and we can compete. How far that will take them, Seb, I don't know, but at least they can compete, and that's what we learned.
We did look at the result by Borussia Dortmund, and it just opens up this group for both Real Madrid and and Spurs. And so I am surprised that Borussia Dortmund is unable.
Shocked, right?
I thought that they would be competing in this group. I actually thought that they would go to the next round with Real Madrid. However, after this result, it feels like it's all Spurs and it's all Real Madrid. And it should be, because they're the two teams that have played the best in this group.
They have, and Dele Alli hasn't even been a part of it yet. You look at Spurs and what they can do, and this just showed another aspect to their game. You look at Sanchez, how good he played at center back, a young player coming against some of the best players in the world on Real Madrid. He was very effective. Dortmund, they have to be able to get results away at Apoel. If they can't get a better result, then when they look at the end of this group stage, they're going to know why they didn't advance to the Champions League knockout stage.
I know that Dortmund lost on the weekend to Leipzig, but I mean, when we saw that final score come across, we were genuinely shocked.
Yeah, because Apoel would be perceived as, we're going to talk about Liverpool and that later on, or we've been talking about them, or we are, or whatever. The 7-0 against Maribor. I'm not suggesting Apoel are quite in that category, but they're certainly in a category for a Borussia Dortmund to be taking 3 or 4 goals off them. even away from home. But as Ali said, listen, this has left it completely open to Tottenham. Real Madrid will get through, but it's left the door open for Tottenham that only they can shoot themselves in the foot now. It is clearly in their hands.
Well, I mean, you look at Borussia Dortmund, and they had an opportunity here because not only do they play Apoel away, the next match is Apoel at home. So an opportunity to collect 6 points and put some pressure on whether that was Spurs
While
or
everybody else
Real
is
Madrid.
dropping points.
Yeah, because there's a possibility there where Real Madrid beats Spurs or Spurs beats Real Madrid. However, you don't put any pressure on anybody because you drop your own points, and it just feels like Dortmund is just backtracking rather than taking steps forward. I don't see where the direction of Borussia Dortmund is right now in Champions League. It certainly doesn't feel like they're going to make it past the group stage.
So again,
What
go
are we
ahead.
doing? Are we doing something? No.
You just
No, well, I thought you were going somewhere. I was just thinking, have we got any Swansea fans in India? Probably not. Fernando Llorente has been wasting his career the last year or two delving around at places like Swansea City because he's always been better than that. And I know he's been on the bench for Tottenham, but somewhere there's some salvation in there for a guy who is an international footballer. He's a physical presence, he's a clever footballer, he's strong in the air, and maybe we're going to see at Tottenham some use for this guy because he's made some big moves, but he's not always played. But scratching around at the bottom of the Premier League is not where Fernando Llorente needed to be. He needed to be playing with better players, and he's getting that at Tottenham. All he needs is a run in the team, which is going to be difficult with Harry Kane there. But I think tonight has shown that there is a place for him on certain occasions.
one more thing on this Spurs match. I've sat at this table and heard you guys talk about Harry Kane, and that the one thing left in his resume is doing it kind of in these matches in Champions League. Was his performance today enough to bury some of those ghosts for you guys?
Yeah, especially early on. You saw him down in the corner, Ramos one-on-one, and normally Ramos comes away either knocking the ball out or even coming away with the ball himself, and just really turned Ramos around, was able to get past him and make something of a play that normally doesn't happen against a Real Madrid team. So you add that, you add his ability on the header. Listen, his qualities is you can't question whether or not he's good. The fact that he does it now at bigger games, the consistency is always going to be the question. He did it today. The goal came off of a near post run from him. He tried to flick it, didn't. But if he doesn't make that run, it's an easy clearance for Varane.
I don't have any doubt that Harry Kane is a world-class player. I don't have any doubt that he's a world-class talent. And in fact, I just think that Harry Kane, if you're a Spurs fan, you better enjoy him right now. Because here's a player that perhaps his ceiling may just be higher than that. And this is not a slide on Spurs. It's simply saying Harry Kane is now positioning himself to be a very sought-after, highly sought-after striker all over the world. Not just in the Premier League, but all over the world.
Craig, if Madrid watched Harry Kane today and then watched what we saw from Karim Benzema.
Well, Benzema's a good player. He always has
Today
been.
he wasn't a good finisher.
No, he had a bad day. Look, he's an experienced international footballer who's pretty much won the lot. Karim Benzema hasn't always been the apple of the eye of the Real Madrid fans or the certain coaches, but has generally, he's been there years.
Yeah.
But I'm with the boys here. I don't think there's any doubt about Harry Kane whatsoever on any of the big stages. He's the one England player at the moment that could walk into most teams, and you can't say that about the rest of the England squad, unfortunately for them.